If you think having a lot of money and making computer parts will always be easy, the news from this weekend changed the rules of the game. The warning about Japan's money from BCA Research moved first as the biggest risk. Then we follow how it spread to the computer chip factories and their prices. Then the part most people missed: new rules for ships and army bases, making everything cost more. Stay with me and I will translate that into how companies fill or empty their piggy banks. The most important news this weekend came from money moving around the world. BCA Research gave a big warning about something called the yen carry trade. The Japanese money, called the yen, became stronger against the US dollar. Experts warn this could cause a huge crash like we saw in 2008 or 2020. People often think a stronger yen only matters to people selling toys from Japan, but it is actually a giant piggy bank for the whole world. Imagine your neighbor lets you borrow $100 for free to buy a lemonade stand. You make a lot of money selling lemonade, but suddenly your neighbor says they want the $100 back right now, and they want you to pay extra fees. You have to sell your lemonade stand immediately to pay them back. It does not matter how good your lemonade is. This is exactly what is happening to big investors. They borrowed cheap money from Japan to buy American computer company stocks. Now they have to sell those stocks fast to pay Japan back. When everyone sells at once, the stock market drops. Regular companies suddenly find it very hard to borrow money to pay their workers. The Bank for International Settlements says there is $14 trillion hiding in these secret money trades. When this money disappears, businesses panic. To stay safe, companies hold on to their cash tightly. They stop building new factories. They stop giving money back to the people who own their stock. The cash gets locked up in a vault instead of being used to grow. Remember, when the price of money changes in Japan, it changes how much money your favorite companies have to spend. While money is getting tighter, tech companies are spending wildly on artificial intelligence. Wall Street experts just raised their price guess for NVIDIA to over $253. Giant computer cloud companies are spending billions to build AI brains. Because of this, the price of computer memory chips is shooting up to the sky. A 64-gigabyte memory part will cost $700 by March. People usually think that when AI grows, every tech company makes more money. That is simply not true. Think of it like building a giant castle. The people selling the stone and the tools are getting very rich. But the regular house builders have to buy stone too. Now the stone costs twice as much, but they cannot ask regular families to pay double for a small house. For companies like Lenovo, Xiaomi, and Apple, making a phone is becoming too expensive. Memory chips used to be a tiny part of the cost. Now they take up more than 20% of the cost to build a phone. This makes the cost to build the phone go way up. If these companies ask us to pay more for our phones, we just will not buy them. So the companies have to make less profit on every phone they sell. Because they are scared prices will go even higher, these phone makers are buying all the chips they can right now. Their warehouses are overflowing with parts. This drains all their leftover cash. They are burning their savings just to keep their factories open. When building things gets this expensive, only companies that can force you to pay higher prices will survive. Next, world leaders are making decisions that cost businesses money. The U.S. government announced strict new rules called tariffs for any country sending oil to Cuba. This made many cargo ships stop moving immediately. At the same time, the NATO alliance started a new defense mission called Arctic Sentry after a meeting with President Trump. All this tension made the S&P 500 stock market index drop hard before bouncing back. We often think news about foreign countries does not affect the stores we shop at. But businesses hate surprises, and surprises cost money. Imagine you take the same bus to school every day. One day the city puts up 3 new toll booths on your route, and you have to pay $1 at each one. You still get to school, but you have less money for lunch. Those toll booths are like the friction from world news. Because of the new rules about Cuba, shipping companies and banks get scared. They raise the price to move goods across the ocean. When it costs more to ship parts to American factories, those factories have to spend more money just to operate. This keeps prices high at the store. On the other hand, companies that build defense equipment get huge new orders from missions like Arctic Sentry. They get to run their factories at full speed, which makes them very profitable. Companies that buy things from overseas are spending all their cash early to avoid future shipping problems. This destroys their leftover cash in the piggy bank. But defense companies get paid by the government before they even start building. This floods them with cash. Global rules are not just news stories. They are permanent price tags attached to everything we buy. Finally, the secret recipes for artificial intelligence are getting stolen. OpenAI had to turn off a favorite AI model called GPT-4o, making many users very sad and angry. At the exact same time, OpenAI told the US government that a Chinese company named DeepSeek copied their AI homework to make a cheaper version. People think top AI companies are perfectly safe because they have the biggest computers. It is like spending millions of dollars to build a giant vault to protect a secret recipe for a cake. But once you sell the cake, someone else just tastes it, figures out the recipe, and bakes it in their own kitchen for pennies. The giant vault becomes useless. This trick is called model distillation. It lets rivals copy the smart answers without doing the hard work. This ruins the ability of big AI companies to charge high prices. To keep their customers, they have to keep spending billions of dollars inventing new things. This keeps their daily expenses incredibly high and hurts their profits. Because they have to keep buying new computers to outsmart the copycats, they never seem to have free cash left over. Every dollar they make goes right back into buying more machines. Without a secret recipe that no one else can copy, their power to make money slowly disappears. Since the U.S. market is closed tomorrow for President's Day, when trading resumes on Tuesday, watch the Japanese yen and the 10-year Treasury yield. If the yen gets stronger, expect big investors to panic and pull their money out of the stock market. To review what we learned today, Japan wanting its cheap money back is scaring global investors. The race to build AI is making computer parts too expensive for normal tech companies. New government rules are acting like toll booths on world trade. And AI companies are losing their secret recipes to cheaper rivals. This helps you see how big world news changes the cash inside a company's piggy bank. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to learn more every day.